Who are you and what's your job?
I'm Adam, and I'm one of the founders of a biotech company working on developing next generation antibiotics that very importantly outpace bacterial evolution.
So what problem in the world does your job have an impact on?
The biggest problem that it has an impact on is, at a very high level, it's bacteria killing people. The other sub-problem within bacteria killing humans is that a lot of the drugs that we have developed to kill bacteria have stopped working, in the sense that bacteria have evolved resistance to those drugs. And that means there now exists many bacteria for which no drugs currently work at all. And so every year that means that 1.3 million people, which is more than those who die from malaria and AIDS combined, die directly because they had a bacterial infection that was resistant.
What does a typical day at your job look like?
As an early stage founder, I have a crazy number of different things to do. And we're a biotech startup, so we do science. And we're like a computational biotech startup as well. Like on a day-to-day, we have the science going on, and that involves doing experiments in a lab and manipulating bacteria and trying to kill bacteria. It also involves writing code, because we do a lot of work to try and understand how bacteria evolve computationally. But then we also have like all the operations of running a business. We feature accountants, lawyers, and also storytelling. We've got science to do, and we need to get money to do that science. So there's an element of fundraising and crafting the narrative about how we tell that story. But ultimately, we want to make a product that saves lives. So we go out and we talk to doctors and patients and clinicians and regulators to try and understand what is it that would actually move a needle or people would actually start using in a clinic. So it's very, very varied. As with many jobs, an annoying part of my day is taken up with emails and responding to emails.
So how do you think you can have the greatest impact on the public in your role?
To the public, number one message: if you are prescribed antibiotics, please take all course of antibiotics. And also, if you are prescribed antibiotics, double check that you do actually need them, because they only work for bacterial infections, and if you don't know a bacterial infection, they won't make you better. We know that already every year, 1.3 million people die because of these drug-resistant bacteria. They're estimated that between now and 2050, one of the biggest levers that we can pull to reduce the number of deaths from these bacteria is actually increasing access to the antibiotics that we already have developed. And they estimated that number to be well into the tens of millions of lives saved by increasing access to antibiotics. So that is a big thing that we're thinking about. How can we push for that? How can we help enable that?
What's the most challenging part about your job as a Christian?
As a Christian, I want to really love the people in front of me well. So a lot of it seems to align and overlap really well. But if I was to think about where the challenges are, I think it's about, in the spaces that you're in, feeling comfortable praying about things at work or bringing God into the challenges that you have. I wish when I had a difficult email to write, or when I had a scientific challenge that I was finding confusing or hard to work out, that I was more quick to pray about it and say, hey, I'm finding this really difficult. And just chat with God about those challenges. My personal inability to rely on God more has been the most challenging thing.